about doing the work without needing an immediate reward. That's when you realize you're not just chasing a fleeting moment, you're actually building a whole life. And that life is shaped one moment at a time by the small choices you make every single day. Not just occasionally, not only when you feel inspired, but every single day. So let's talk about what that really looks like. It's simple to do something when it feels enjoyable. But can you do it when it feels dull? When it feels uncomfortable? You didn't love her. When it feels like absolutely nothing is changing. That is precisely where your inner strength is developed. That is where confidence is built. Because confidence doesn't come from what you say you're going to do. It comes from actually doing it. It comes from keeping your promises to yourself again and again until you no longer have any doubt about your own power. Every woman I have seen rise to her true greatness has this one key thing. In common, she shows up. Not just when everything is perfect or easy, but when things are messy, when they are hard, when it would be so much simpler to give up. She understands that her daily habits are not just simple routines. They are deep promises to herself. And she keeps those promises. Now, that doesn't mean aiming for perfection. It doesn't mean you won't stumble or miss a day or feel tired. It simply means you get back up. It means you remember that showing up for yourself is an act of deep self-respect. And that discipline, that is the clear bridge between your wildest dreams and your everyday reality. So if you're waiting to feel completely ready or waiting for motivation to suddenly appear and carry you forward, let me save you some valuable timing. It won't always come. But you can. You can come to the mat, to the patch, to the path. You can decide the person you truly want to become matters more than how you feel in this very moment. That is what separates the women who merely talk about making changes from the women who actually create those changes. Discipline is the daily choice to keep going. And every time you choose it, you didn't love her. You become the kind of woman who accomplishes difficult things. Not because it's easy, but because that's simply who you are. We live in a world that praises constant activity. Everywhere you look, someone is talking about working tirelessly, chasing things, rushing, doing more, moving faster. There's always some new thing to achieve, somewhere important to be, something that needs to be fixed. And for a long time, I bought into that idea. I thought that the more I crammed into my calendar, the more I proved my worth. I thought that if I wasn't constantly busy, I was somehow falling behind. But let me tell you that belief is a clever trap. Because what I eventually found out, what truly transformed my life, is this stillness is not a weakness. Stillness is a profound strength. There is a quiet, powerful force in being able to pause, to simply sit with yourself, to breathe deeply, to hear your own thoughts of all the loud noise of the world. Stillness isn't about doing absolutely nothing. It's about making a deliberate choice to be fully present. It's about creating room for your inner spirit to speak. Because your life doesn't just need constant action, it also needs clear direction. And you only find that direction when you become still enough to truly listen. I understand how incredibly challenging it can be, especially for women, to claim that precious space for ourselves. We are so accustomed to taking care of everyone else, to showing up, giving, solving problems, fixing things. But when was the last time you actually asked yourself, what do I genuinely need in this very moment? When was the last time you just sat in complete silence? Not scrolling on your phone, not making plans, not trying to perform for anyone, but simply sitting just with you. Let me say this very clearly to every woman listening. Your inner peace is not a luxury item. Your clarity of thought is not something you can choose to ignore. You didn't love her. You do not have to earn rest, and you absolutely do not have to apologize for needing a moment to just breathe. You didn't love her. That brief moment might be the exact thing that keeps you from going down a path that isn't truly yours. That moment might be where your next great idea is born. That moment might be where healing process truly begins. Stillness gives you access to a kind of wisdom that all the world's noise can never reach. And the beautiful part is you don't need hours to find it. Sometimes all it takes is 5 minutes with your eyes closed, your feet firmly planted on the floor, and your breath gently bringing you back to yourself. Sometimes it's a quiet walk without your phone. Sometimes it's simply staring out the window with a warm cup of tea. And in that quiet space, allowing your inner world to soften. The answers begin to appear. The clarity returns. You remember who you truly are. I've learned that stillness is not about escaping from life. It's about engaging with life from a much deeper place. It's how you keep yourself steady and grounded when everything else feels like it's spinning wildly out of control. It's how you thoughtfully choose your response instead of reacting impulsively out of fear or extreme tiredness. It's how you reconnect with your deepest purpose so that every single step you take comes from clear intention, not just from a sudden urge. And let me tell you something I know for absolute certain. You didn't love her. You don't have to chase what already belongs to you. You don't have to prove your worth by completely exhausting yourself. You are allowed to move at a slower pace. You are allowed to disconnect from technology. You are allowed to protect your own precious peace. Because when you create space for stillness, you begin to hear the voice that truly matters, mosting your own. So no matter how loud the world becomes, no matter how long your to-do list stretches, no matter how many people are pulling on your attention, make room for stillness. You make it a regular habit. Make it sacred. Because when you learn how to be still, you learn how to be truly powerful. You are given only one body, just one. Not two, not a spare one waiting in the back in case this one wears out. And yet, for so many women, this very body, the vessel that holds your soul, your dreams, your unique story, often becomes the very last thing you pay attention to. You pour all your energy into everyone else. You show up for your jobs, for your family, for your various commitments, for countless conversations. But when it's time to show up for your own health, your own energy, your overall well-being, somehow you get pushed to the very end of the line. But here's the crucial truth I need you understanding: your body is not something to think about later. But it is not separate from your life's purpose. It is the solid foundation of absolutely everything you do. You want to build a life filled with strength. You want to pursue big, bold dreams. Raise a family, lead companies, speak with confidence, love deeply. You need physical strength for all of that. You need staying power for all of that. You need a clear mind and a steady spirit. And all of that begins with how you care for the amazing vessel you live inside of. Now, I'm not talking about reaching a certain size or shape. I'm not talking about chasing specific beauty ideals that were never designed with you in mind. I'm talking about genuinely honoring your health in the same way you honor your most important commitments. Because it is a commitment, a daily one. It's about waking up and genuinely asking yourself, how do I truly want to feel in this body today? Not how do I want to look, but how do I want to feel? Do I want to feel full of energy? Do I want to feel grounded and steady? Do I want to feel free from aches and pains? Do I want to feel awake, alive, ready for anything? That means making choices every day. Not perfect choices, but loving ones. Drinking your water before you reach for the coffee. Moving your body, not because you dislike it, but because you love it enough to keep it strong. Feeding yourself foods that truly nourish and fuel you. Getting enough rest, not just because you're tired, but because rest is also a productive and essential part of your day. And taking care of your mental health just as seriously as your physical health, because stress, shame, and silence can weigh heavier on you than any number on a scale ever could. I know what it feels like to run on empty. I know what it's like to push through extreme tiredness, headaches, and complete exhaustion, thinking you are being strong, when in reality, you are just burning yourself out. I used to wear that exhaustion as a badge of honor. I truly thought it made me unstoppable. But being truly unstoppable actually requires knowing when to stop, when to listen to your body, when to slow down, and when to truly nurture the one person who absolutely has to be well for everything else to function you. Your health is not a selfish act. It's not a side project you'll get around to when your life finally calms down. Life doesn't slow down on its own. You have to intentionally pause it. You have to claim that time for yourself and make your own well-being a non-negotiable priority, because you cannot pour from an empty cup, no matter how deeply you love others. You didn't love her. You cannot lead effectively from a body that is breaking down. And you cannot truly live a full and vibrant life if you are constantly stuck in survival mode. So I want you to remember this. Every single day taking care of your body is taking care of your entire future. It is not something extra. It is absolutely essential. Your energy, your presence, your power, it all begins right here. You cannot do your important work in the world if you are not well. So, eat like you genuinely love yourself. Move your body like you deeply value yourself. Rest like you truly honor yourself, because this one body, this beautiful, strong, irreplaceable body is the only place you get to live your life. There's this popular idea out there that if you're not constantly moving, constantly achieving, then you are somehow falling behind. You didn't love her. We live in a world that measures success by how packed your schedule is, how many different roles you can handle, how much you can juggle without breaking. We've been taught that constant effort is a noble pursuit, that exhaustion is a mark of honor. But I want to share something with you that I learned the hard way. Constant activity isn't the same as real progress, and being busy isn't the same as having a clear purpose. What if I told you that you don't have to work yourself to exhaustion to be worthy? You didn't love her. That you don't have to prove value by how tired you feel at the end of each day. That living with true intention, being rooted, present, and clear-headed is far more powerful than any rushed accomplishment or checked-off item on a list. Because here's the truth: your time is sacred. Your energy is sacred. Every single day, you are making choices, whether you realize it or not, about how you spend your life. And those choices, they accumulate. They shape your habits. They shape your entire reality. That's why one of the most impactful daily habits a woman can master is learning to live with intention rather than just reacting to whatever comes her way. When you live with intention, you stop operating on automatic pilot. You stop waking up and just going through the motions of your day. You start asking yourself meaningful questions, those. Why am I actually doing this? Does this choice align with the person I truly want to be? Am I pursuing this because it genuinely fulfills me, or because I think it will impress someone else? Living with intention means slowing down just enough to carefully choose your actions instead of just responding to all of life's endless demands. You didn't love her. It means bravely saying no to things that don't contribute to your inner peace. It means not filling every single hour just for the sake of feeling productive. You didn't love her because productivity without a clear purpose simply leads to complete burnout. And let me tell you, it takes real courage to live that way. You didn't love her. It takes courage to choose what is meaningful over all the noise. It takes courage to stop trying to do absolutely everything and instead focus on doing what truly matters most. It's easy to get caught up in the busy whirlwind, to keep saying yes to every request, to keep running so you won't fall behind. But at some point, you have to stop and ask, where exactly am I running to? And is it even where I truly want to go? Every woman I have ever seen create a life that feels truly rich not just in possessions, but in deep joy, peace, and lasting fulfillment, made one powerful change. She stopped living by default and started living by design. She became incredibly clear on what truly mattered to her. And then she made it an absolute priority every single day. Not just once a year on a vision board, not just once a week in a planner, but every single day with every choice. In the way she begins her mornings, in the way she replies to emails, in how she shows up in her relationships, and how she chooses to rest, in how she chooses to approach her work. You don't need to do more. You need to do what truly matters. You don't need to be everything to everyone. You need to be fully yourself. And when you begin to honor your life in that way, everything starts to shift. You become less reactive and more centered, less scattered and more focused. You stop letting the world dictate your pace and start dancing to your own unique rhythm. You didn't love her. And let me remind you, the woman who lives with a clear purpose doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. Her very presence speaks for itself. There comes a moment in every woman's journey when she truly understands that all the deep work she has been doing on herself, all the new habits, the healing, the personal growth is not just for her. Yes, it certainly begins with you. It absolutely must begin with you. You build these beneficial habits. You take loving care of your body. You cultivate your discipline, your inner peace, your clarity of mind. But at some point, you realize that your own transformation becomes an inspiration for someone else. That your personal breakthrough gives permission to another. That your rise lifts more than just your own life. It begins to positively change everything around you. Because a woman who is grounded, who is intentional, who truly knows herself and deeply honors her own well-being, becomes a living example. She becomes a guiding light, a lighthouse. Not because she is flawless, not because she has everything perfectly figured out, but because she chooses to show up differently every single day. That choice holds immense power, and it spreads. You didn't love her. I want you to really think about this. Every time you choose to speak kindly to yourself, you are showing another woman that it's perfectly fine to do the same. Every time you set a healthy boundary, you are giving someone else the bravery to protect their own peace. Every time you rest without feeling guilty, or walk away from something that no longer serves you, or chase a dream that genuinely frightens you, you are not just changing your own life. You are creating a ripple effect that touches everyone connected to you. And I know sometimes it feels like no one is paying attention. You might think the small things don't really matter. You might believe that the way you write in your journal, the way you move through your day, the quiet ways you are healing, go unnoticed. But I promise you, they do not. Someone is always watching, a daughter, a friend, a coworker, even a stranger, and you truly never know whose life you are positively impacting simply by choosing to live yours with purpose and intention. The truth is, the habits you master aren't just for your own survival. They are for your legacy. You are building something far greater than a simple routine. You are building a strong foundation for generations to come. You are showing what is truly possible when a woman decides to reclaim her innate power and live her life on her own terms. That kind of example, that is nothing short of a quiet revolution in motion. I've witnessed women rise up and completely transform their lives in quiet, steady ways, one decision, one habit, one shift in mindset at a time. And when they do, something even more profound happens. They turn around and lift someone else up. They share the tools they've learned. They share the truths they've discovered. They become mirrors for others, allowing them to see their own potential reflected back. That is the true beauty of this entire journey. It doesn't end with you, it expands through you. So I want to say this, don't wait until everything is perfectly aligned before you start to help someone else. You don't have to be at the finish line of your own journey to extend a helping hand. You don't need a public platform to make a positive impact. Just live your truth. Just be genuinely authentic. Just walk with unwavering integrity. Because that positive energy is felt. That quiet courage is incredibly contagious. We are not here on this planet to do this alone. We certainly